Sorry for anyone tuning back in. I am live again. Yeah, I'll explain in a second. I am live again. I ended things abruptly, and I'll tell you why. But just sharing this stream again. Ultimately, not the end of the world. Somebody just messaged me, and they were saying that my name, or I was doxing myself or doxing somebody, which for me, there's other accounts, people that have used my computer. I don't want to dox anyone. It's not the end of the world, but it turns out it was just a subscriber feed. And so it was just, somebody was referring to a new subscriber and it popped up on an overlay or something. And they thought that was my name, or somebody's name that wasn't a subscriber. And so I just wanted to double check, because ultimately I was kind of confused how it would be possible. And so I just ended the stream. and thought I'd check. But anyways, it was just a subscriber feed. I am interested in, I am interested in a small position here on a short off the 382. I am seeing signs of weakness, signs of rejection, and so I might do that. No, I didn't delete it. It wasn't anything. It was just a subscriber. I just ended the stream and restarted a new one. Yeah, ultimately, I mean, I'm kind of new to streaming and YouTube, all that stuff, and I prefer some anonymity, but it's not the end of the world if my identity gets leaked. It's just annoying. Yeah, but I might be looking to take a short here. So there's a couple ways you could do it. Obviously, just looking for signs of weakness, absorption. We're coming into a really important weekly open. So I might wait for some market structure change, a retest. Might try to see where we're at with the weekly open. And the way yeah, oh sorry, I was just reading a comment. The way I do this is I'd open a smaller position with the idea of either compounding it into these highs, so adding to it. You could also refer to it as scaling into a position in this resistance zone, or adding to it with more weakness. So you're either scaling into it if we do reject from here, or scaling into it as you move up. But for me, it's just not a level that I might want to only have longs open, because I have lots of longs, like on Ethereum, Bitcoin, other coins. So I kind of have to look at it pragmatically. Do I only want longs open here, or do I want to start looking at taking some short positions? Somebody asking if I could do a quick stream I gotta go to school after this. Thanks, bro. I don't know what you mean by a quick stream. Like, maybe that's a typo. I'm doing a stream now. It might be quick. The only thing is, I do have some things I have to go run and do soon, so maybe I shouldn't have reopened the stream here. I'm curious. Yeah, I think you're asking about my live stream recording. Certainly, everything just should be. You should be able to rewatch it. I haven't ever deleted an old live stream, whether a member stream or not. But to get to the member streams, you need to access them through the members Discord channel or Telegram. Yeah, so we're seeing some, signs of weakness here, right? Price is trying to push up. Volume certainly coming in here. Longs opening. We maybe have our first kind of 15-minute bearish candles closing. I just lean, we have a lot of longs that opened up at the highs here, which on the previous stream that I just closed abruptly, I was pointing out, I'm more interested in shorts now, like even at this level. So, I have opened a small position, not financial advice, of course, and I'll be looking to add to it. I still have longs running, so, there's an element of this that's just hedging longs, but just aware that this is some key resistance. I still ultimately have targets up to here, but I'm happy to scale into a position. I am going to update some members channels. So this is typically what I do, if I have some ideas I've shared, like maybe in a live stream or some charts, I might just say, if I've started scaling into a position, whatever it is, and typically we'll share why. Somebody asking a couple questions if I can look at ETH BTC. Yeah, maybe I'll pop over to it here. Certainly at some resistance. I'd like to see, I'd like to see some kind of pullback on ETH and Bitcoin, but I do have a thesis where Bitcoin could break down and Ethereum could carry on out. So we'll see. But yeah, ETH BTC at resistance. Still, I like this broader high time frame Elliott wave idea that I've talked about. I'm not sure if you're referring to this or not. I just assume because I've shared it quite a bit. But we're at local resistance, and like ETH can still pull back against Bitcoin, even significantly, and this idea could still play out. Someone asked if I would open the short if I didn't have your longs open. Probably. Yeah. You know, I'm just, the sizing and all of that just has to take that into account. So if you have no longs open, you might not trade it the same as if your portfolio or your positions are primarily long. Yeah, I need to. Someone say it's boring waiting for trade setups. It can be for sure. That's why I like to, set alerts, do other things. I need to find something entertaining to do on the stream. I mean, I've done hours and hours of, analysis, obviously, on Livestream. That's always good, I guess. But sometimes when I've done just tons of analysis on like 50 different coins, and I've produced that content, now I'm waiting for these ideas to play out. I don't really want to go back and just rehash and redo it. If people are interested, they can go back and watch those old videos. I think, a lot of people just, I don't want to go over the same thing over and over again. So it's like, this probably, for people, this is more interesting for people who have been following some of my analysis for a while. Bitcoin, some of the members. Because these are moves that I've been waiting for. Yeah, education on scalping, things like that. The truth is, scalping is the hardest form of trading. And I think a lot of people just have the impression that if they trade more, they'll make more money. But the truth is, if you're not an experienced trader, the quickest way to lose money is scalping. You're better off to just trade high probability setups. Yeah, I think a lot of people want to just, be trading, right? Like, I want to be opening positions, taking profits, closing positions, opening new positions. Um, but 90 to 95% of your time is going to be spent doing analysis and waiting and trading. And it's a very small percentage of your time will be spent actually trading. And the thing is, it's like, like for example, like if you have longs from down here and you're just sitting in longs, a lot of people want to just be trading this. Like, I close my longs, I open my longs, I close them, I got stopped out, I long, and they're losing money, and they could have just been sitting in a long position, right? And they're trying to find just new ways to trade this, where it's like just sit in your longs. We're in a nice uptrend. There's no reason to be. You might take some profits, but there's no reason to be stopping out your longs or stopping them out, opening new ones, getting stopped out, because you're trying to like scalp this and you've closed all your longs down here. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And now there might, I think newer traders, even this, they're trying to maybe scalp this. When what you're really doing is, if you're not focused on the higher time frame levels, you might be missing an amazing setup where you can capitalize a position, take a great position, and sit in it for a while and just be making money every day without any extra work. I like looking at the 1 minute chart just for something to do. Technical analysis, all these technical ideas work on low time frame levels. I mean charts as well. I'm not saying trade them, but you could look at the 1 minute chart and see price move similarly to higher time frames. Just looking at some messages on my phone. Excuse me. Another thing is, something you'll see that happens often on different time frames is price will kind of make 3 highs or 3 lows in a consolidation area before a reversal, even if it's just a local reversal. It happens a lot on low time frames during volatile moves. I just want to actually show some notes like this. 1, 2, 3, and then you have the reversal. We ultimately came lower, but you'll see like they're not always clearly defined, but 1, 2, 3, you have the reversal and then the bigger move. And you just see it a lot at different time frames. So, that being said, always something to look out for at key levels. Then maybe you have, I'm not saying we will, and then maybe you have to move up again. It's not every time, it's just something that does happen. One thing that I need to find a way to kind of do sit more formatically and systematically is just realize that I have a lot of understanding and knowledge that you don't. Not saying that I know more than you, but I think differently than you think, right? And you think differently than I think. And so when I'm saying something or explaining something, and if you don't know anything about it, you might interpret it completely differently than the way I'm saying it, right? So, yeah. I always want to hear what you guys think. I want to see the ideas that you're looking at, that you're wanting to trade. I'm sharing mine and trying to do it in a way that is coherent and makes sense, and maybe even for newer traders. But just know, if you don't know anything about what I'm talking about, volume profiles, Fibonacci, Elliott waves, harmonics, it's not going to make a lot of sense until you put a little bit of time into learning some of these concepts. I teach some of that in the members group. and we'll continue to do so. Also a little curious. Yeah, so obviously there's always interested to get some feedback, hear what you guys might like to see in a live stream. I know typically that answer is just going to be like live trading or signals, but some ideas I am looking for on ape. Obviously, we got this long, if you were following my analysis, this short, this long. Wouldn't mind seeing the range highs taken. Maybe we get a rotation back down to the bottom of the range. What a move on Phil. See, this is a great example of, you know, here was resistance. We obviously interacted with it. But eventually all resistance and support will break. There was some resistance all through here. But like if you were looking for shorts here, like, and this move started happening, this just, I find people find themselves in this trap. They start shorting this whole move up. It's just like, wait for weakness. There's nothing to short yet, you know? What are you shorting? And if you're in longs, same with taking profits. You know, you don't have to be too aggressive with profit taking. If you, even on the 15-minute chart, you just have a move that's moving straight up. Somebody asking, how do I determine which tokens to trade, which coins to trade, with so many options? I mean, the truth is, I do so much analysis. Like, you know, on a live stream the other day, I analyzed 20 coins. So I just find ideas I like based on that. I'm always doing it because I'm always sharing analysis, and that's part of what I do. I'm just analyzing so many things. So I know that's not the situation for most people, but personally I find a lot of the ideas I like just, you know, by the fact I'm analyzing a lot of things. You can look at like volatility, so like coins that had big moves that day, up or down. You look at volume. There's a big volume increase. You can sort by that. Someone asking how much time do I need before deciding there's weakness or a reversal. For me, it's not really an issue of time. It's an issue of signs of absorption, rejection from a key level. More levels. Levels can happen quickly, they can take time. But I'm not like a big, wait for the 4 hour to close under this level type trader. You oftentimes find key levels and volatility around major closings and openings. So I like that, you know. But I'm not necessarily, like, for example, like the daily close, the weekly close, the weekly open. I'm not necessarily waiting for a close above or below a certain level, but I am waiting for those closes for some direction because there's usually volatility around them. I'll be right back. Got to take a leak, and then I'll be back. We are coming into the daily open here soon, so we might get some direction. Be right back. Thank you. I was muted, so Yeah, I was talking for a little bit there. Well, at least I can kind of streamline what I was saying. I was saying that this could be considered a potential backtest if a key level is resistance. Um, so, we move through it. We may reject here. It's a nice, perfect touch of the global 382. Not saying we can't push higher, but what I was saying is this is a region. I've started scaling into my shorts now. I'm interested in having short positions from here, from here, from here. This is kind of my higher target in this area. And then I'm willing to let my shorts go if it starts looking like we're going to push through this region and look for higher. But yeah, and I trade with proper risk management, position sizing. I'm okay with getting stopped out. But I've been waiting for these highs, right? So I've got longs that I've been carrying. Haven't been so interested in shorts down here. More interested up here. And it's a totally different context, right? Like for me, let's just say, just psychologically, if you're a trader right now who maybe you've just been getting wrecked all through this price action, maybe you've been shorting relentlessly, no longs, or trying to scalp longs and keep getting stopped out as it works its way up, and now maybe you're thinking about shorting this, and maybe a price comes up, and you maybe have a tight stop loss, you get stopped out again. That could be quite frustrating. But for me, the difference would be I'm long all the way up into here. That's obviously on Ethereum too. Those are quite good positions to have. I'm taking some shorts in regions of interest. I'm going to still carry some of my longs. So it's a totally different context for me versus the scenario I just described, where it's irrelevant if I get stopped out of these shorts. I mean, it just makes zero sense for me coming into these high time frame resistance levels that I've been waiting for not to start taking shorts, because I've had this price action since here, and I traded this quite well too, frankly, but dialed in. So like shorts, longs, and now looking for shorts. So anyways, it's always important to think of the psychology of trading, because you're going to feel differently about a loss if you're in a series of losses than you are if you're in a series of wins. When in reality, the outcome of your previous trades is irrelevant to the outcome of this trade, or it should be. Everyone is just a coin flip with maybe a weighted coin. You don't know what's going to happen, and since you don't know, that means the outcome is... Wait, let me just make sure. Is my mic working now? I just assume it is because I unmuted it, but nobody said it was. I'll just wait. I know there's a bit of a delay. Just make sure it's working. It should be. But okay, good. Yeah, so like I was saying, it's because we don't know what's going to happen. It's just a gamble. It's a coin flip. You can put the odds in your favor. You can use position sizing and risk management to make it a winning strategy over the long term. Yeah, but ultimately, we're just placing bets on which way the market will go. And there's no reason to be upset. I mean, if you use too big a position size or whatever, there's, that's one thing. But if you're trading reasonably, there's no reason to be upset when you're quote unquote wrong, because you don't know which way what's going to happen. So you can't really be wrong. right? You're just trading with invalidation. So if you're stopped out, you're stopped out. If you take profit, you take profit. But if you don't know what's going to happen, if you were betting on a coin flip and you bet on heads and it landed on tails, would you feel stupid because you didn't bet on tails? No, of course not, because you understand you're just betting on a coin flip. Well, trading is actually no different. So there's no reason to beat yourself up or be upset when you're wrong, because you don't know what's going to happen. So it's not about being right or wrong. But you do not need to know what is going to happen next in the market to make money in the market consistently. So let's just look. We're 20 minutes away from a new weekly candle and daily candle. 4 days away from a new monthly candle. Certainly can start expecting some volatility coming into this daily candle / weekly candle. Wouldn't even be surprising to take these highs during that, which is perfectly fine. Somebody in the chat said how. I assume you're asking how can you make money trading if you don't know what's going to happen next. I'll just assume that's what you meant. Well, let me ask you this. If I give you a coin that was weighted, I'm actually going to make a video on this. Let's say it was weighted to land 60% of the time on heads. Or let's just say heads paid you out 5 times your bet, or you lost your bet, and tails had paid you out 1 times your bet, or you lost your bet. So even though each coin flip is a random outcome, 50-50 heads or tails, one side pays you 5 times what you lose, and the other side pays you 1x or 1x you lost. Could you make money betting on coin flips with that coin? Even if you didn't know which side on each coin flip the flip was going to land, heads or tails, that's random. You don't need to know if the next flip is going to land on heads to make money with that magic coin. That's what the market is. You can put the probabilities in your favor. So maybe you might have a 70% chance of being right, or a 65, maybe even an 80% chance of being right. And when you're right, you can make 5-10 times more money than you lose when you're wrong. You don't need to know which time you're going to be right or wrong to make money consistently. You just need to know you have a system that produces that type of coin flip scenario where you could bet on heads. But this is what's important to realize is the majority of people, if I gave you that magic coin that you could bet on heads and it paid you 5 times what you lost, and tails, was 1-to-1. Even if you bet on heads every single time, the majority of people would actually lose money with that coin because of position sizing and not understanding probability theory. That even though there's a 50-50% chance that you could land heads or tails, if you flip that coin 1,000 times, you're eventually going to land on tails 5 times in a row. And if you're risking 50% of your net worth on every trade, well, eventually the probabilities are against you that you're going to wreck yourself. Yeah, exactly. Someone's saying you just need to not lose all so you can trade more. Yeah, you need to not lose all or most. I'm anticipating, just so I have a few things I need to take care of, some errands to run, but I'm anticipating maybe running this stream into the first 15 minutes of the weekly open. Not unusual to get some volatility coming into this new weekly candle. Even this 15, 20 minutes before the candle, 30 minutes afterwards. So that's kind of what I'm looking at for this live stream. Just flipping through the Twitters again. I just like to see what people are posting. I'm gonna check out some of the usual suspects. Those accounts near 1 million followers, and just see what they're saying. Yeah. If you guys want, hop into Discord, links in the description. If you have any TA you want to share, maybe I'll look at it. I can, I think I can even pull your charts up, even if you just post a shot of it on TradingView. In the Discord, there's the Alt TA and the Bitcoin TA channels. Ideally, we're looking at Bitcoin. If you have any channels or charts to share. If you have any different ideas than mine. Just grabbing some food, be right back. Yeah, we're coming into the Asian session. Someone's pointing out a lot of these volatile times for Bitcoin coincide with market opens around the world. The New York Open, New York session, Asian session, London session, and the daily candle, in this case, the weekly candle, coincide with the Asian markets. It would be beautiful if we pushed up in this weekly open and tapped this level and got to pull back. It's probably not a good etiquette for me to be eating on stream, but I think I've streamed most of the day now, or a lot of the day, so gotta do what you gotta do. Something that's sort of where I live in the world. You know, a lot of the big moves happen around 4 or 5 in the morning. And so price will range, and then the pivot will come in. So depending on where you live in the world, I know many people are either it's late in the evening for them now or they're already asleep. It can be frustrating finding good positions because you have to sleep. And maybe you don't have the luxury of being able to set alerts that can wake you up in the middle of the night. I'll put down some of this food. There is a scenario where, yeah, we put in this high right in the weekly open, whether here or here, which I prefer, because then you just take the position and wait and carry on with life. Here, I'll share some charts that were shared in Discord. That is just a link to the picture of the chart. I think I need need to maybe just open the image. I'm just trying to figure out. Can you copy a TradingView chart and like someone else's and put it into your, I don't even know. I'm just trying to share your chart, JKN, if you're still here. But I'm struggling to see how to do this from here. Oh yeah, someone's saying click on the share button. I see. Well, I found something that could work here. Let's do this. All right, so let's make this a little bigger. Just a Wyckoff idea. So accumulation, reaccumulation, distribution, pullback, redistribution, up into this range, then a markdown, another accumulation phase. So this would align with the idea of the Gartley that I shared, the Elliott wave count I shared. It's just another idea of confluence. And that's by JKN Studios, who was in the chat here. He's in the Discord. Just noticed somebody in the Discord, I don't know if you're in here, Sparky Mike, you posted this big explosion of price, and you said, how do you chart this on Bitcoin, this big candle? And then put a laughy face. Well, you don't necessarily chart the massive short squeeze, but you can predict it. And if you were in the members live stream, that's kind of what I did. Yeah, just scrolling through some charts here in Discord, seeing if there's anything else to share. Not a lot after this move. Yeah, unsurprisingly, just lots of coins breaking out. Luna even pushing up into the golden pocket, which I drew earlier in the other stream. I'd say a relevant resistance for sure. Yeah, so daily open in 3 minutes / weekly open. Expecting potential volatility here, obviously, as I've said. We are above the 382. With some key levels above. We'll see what happens. You know, maybe we get a quick move up into the daily open and then reversal, or a quick move down and reversal. Typically what happens when the daily candle opens, this used to be more reliable, but it's not as reliable anymore, is there's an initial move, and when there's not even a wick left on that initial move, that move will be reversed before, typically, like probably 85% to 90% certainty. If a daily candle opens and makes a move without leaving a wick, that move will be reversed up or down. Even if it's just reversed enough to make a wick, right? Over the last 2 months, there's been more daily candles without wicks than there has been in the past, but still statistically not the most likely. If you're unfamiliar with the VWAP, this is it here. Sometimes it resets every day if it's on the daily session. It's a nice thing to have on your chart, I find. Sometimes it's good. There's lots of ways to do it, but to have an idea of where it was in the previous daily session. All right. You'll see the VWAP pushes back up and resets. So we are now in a new weekly session, weekly candle, new daily candle. Move is opening red. It's a very small wick. So yeah, like I said, I mean, this is very unlikely to be the high of the daily candle, although not impossible. There's a slight wick there. It's not anything, to really trade off of at all. Just something I always keep in the back of my mind. That the initial direction of the daily candle, not always, but typically, probably about 85% of the time, gets reversed at some point during that session. Just looking at Luna too, because it's at a key level locally here. Might pop over to ADA for a second, testing the highs. Which of course this is kind of what I was referring to. So the initial direction of the daily candle typically gets reversed. Now, not to say it's going to go way up here, but even just this, right? Could put in a wick up into the highs again. We take the highs and maybe we reverse in the next 5-10 minutes. It's not uncommon to put in a significant pivot on a daily open that first hour, even if it's just a pivot for the next 24 hours. So it's always a nice time to look for trades into that session. Yeah, I think ultimately my preference here would actually be to see, even though I've started scaling into my shorts, I'd like to see this high taken, even just locally, in this daily session. We may not. I mean, I'm fine with the rejection here. It'd be nice to do one more little push up, and then if we're going to get a local rejection, so back testing the 382 now. I'm going to pop over to Ape because we've come into a region I'm interested in. You're going to have to kind of, I'll be hopping back and forth a bit here because I need to do some members updates on some ideas that I've been sharing. Ultimately, what you're looking for here would be to take these highs would be nice, then re-enter into the range. I covered this in the members video too. I'm covering it since here, but yeah, to push. Not interested in shorts or anything here. I want to look to push up and take the highs of this range. Big take profit on longs. Look for a re-entry back into the range. Back to Bitcoin. you know, looking at this possible rejection here. See, now we've kind of put in a little bit more of a move up on the daily candle, so didn't quite take this high. Might have been a local fib here. Probably the 886, knowing Bitcoin these days. 786, 886. It's kind of irrelevant. Even can be nice now, like we have this rejection idea. I have some shorts from here. I'm just gonna set an alert around here. Actually, I didn't realize I had this one. I'm gonna remove it. You know, as I go about my day, if price does reject, I do want to know when price comes back up to these highs. Might do it immediately. Gonna take a look at ape here, as this is a target I've been waiting for longs and possible shorts. So ultimately, been talking about this ad nauseum. In the members group. Great trades on ape, by the way. You know, we literally got a long here, traded it up to here, short. We got this deviation long. I actually did take one stop loss here. I longed here actually, got this long up at take profit 50% of my position at the middle of the channel. I took a long in this first deviation, got stopped out, and then long this next one. Push up to the highs of the channel again. Highs of the range. Nice bounce off the middle here. Right now we're double topping this high. Be nice to take it, but we might not on the first touch. So if somebody was interested in shorting ape, it's a possible place to start scaling into a short. But it's a strong move, so lots of volume here. I don't have any open interest or anything pulled up on ape right now, but I imagine this was a lot of shorts getting squeezed out. Or just early shorts. I personally am interested in shorts here on ape. This range has treated me quite well since we re-entered it. Obviously the longs from here, shorts on the first 618. Longs was on the first touch of the bottom of this re-entry of the range. Take profits, longing back up into the top of the range, and quite literally talking about these ideas. You know, it's a 17% move. Like as we entered the range, that we re-enter this range, just being patient, waiting. That's what I mean. There's always great trades to be had if you're patient. Do your analysis, set alerts, just be patient. I'm sure, you know, there was people in the Discord talking about if I thought, you know, this double top here, if I was shorting it, shorting down here, whatever. And I just said I'm just waiting. For me, I'm interested in longs from the lows here. I'll wait for the highs. If I don't get them, I won't take a trade. And I just don't want to get caught shorting. I have my idea, right? I'm not looking for new ideas necessarily to find excuses to trade this early. I want to carry my longs up to the highs here and look for shorts here. If I take a losing trade, I take a losing trade. Ultimately, I'm looking at my trading in sets of 10 and 20 trades, not one trade. I don't really care about the outcome of one, but this looks quite nice to me. And I've been waiting for it patiently. And yeah, you don't ever want to get emotional about trading, but it feels good to dial in price action this accurately. But you never want to feel euphoric or too confident. That's one thing you're always trying to conquer as a trader. If you think winning 2 or 3 trades in a row, even big ones, can put you in maybe a reckless or euphoric mindset, try winning 10 or 15 in a row. And try to just stay level and objective. That's why I always make a point, even if I've been right 10 or 15 times in a row and I'm on a big win streak, I'm always objective. It's easy to get into that mindset of you're always right and you know what's going to happen next. But every trade is a new moment in the market, so anything's possible. Yeah, so ultimately, Bitcoin potentially rejecting from a key level into this daily open. Been carrying longs up here, taking profits along the way. Started scaling into a small short position. Started scaling into a short position here on ape. What's the trade I was looking for? Still carrying a lot of longs from last week on a few coins. But I think patience has paid off here. And I think I've had a pretty good read on the market, on whether it's Bitcoin, ape, or other coins. I am going to have to sign off soon, which this was kind of the plan, coming to the weekly open, maybe that first 20 minutes, and then leave you guys to fend for yourselves. I do think, obviously if you've followed my analysis for a while, many of you probably have in either the public Telegram, most of you there, and, probably 20% of the people who follow me are members. I've been pretty spot on with my analysis for a little while here. At least finding key levels, key ideas. It's even a win if you're looking for shorts on ape. Already this is closing in on a take profit 1. But you know, if you're looking at for shorts on ape, you're just not shorting early. You're not misreading this as a rejection. And that's what I said in the members live stream today for ape. I'll look at the 15-minute chart actually. Is I'm just waiting for the highest probability setups. You know, I've identified this range. We obviously had this move down. We reclaimed the range. I'm interested at shorts, in shorts at the highs, longs at the lows, and I'm not going to trade the middle. And I don't care about this price action. I mean, I think my literal drawings this morning, I was just saying, like, or maybe it was last night, whenever it was, I'm not going to, I don't even care. I'll just set alerts here. If I get the highs of the range, those are my targets for longs and shorts. My targets to take profit on longs and shorts. And then the lows of the range. It doesn't always work out. I mean, this long, you know, 8 might break out here. It might take the all-time highs. Again, you know, if you're only trading, there's this idea of you have to trade every setup, right? Like, if you're picking and choosing. So if I'm taking, you know, this initial short of this test of the highs in the golden pocket, initial long, I took the first deviation, that was a loss. Second one was a nice winner. This short might be a winner or a loser, but if I'm only trading, for some reason, not all the setups in this range, and maybe I only take this one deviation trade and it's a loser, I don't take the second one, I never took this long, and for some reason I tried to long a breakout here, or something like that, then you're just going to lose money. But this is offered already 1, 2, 3 really nice trades. So far, one loser for me. And this could have even been traded differently, not to be a loser, but made up for it with this long. And possibly another winner. But even if this is a loser, the winners far outweigh the losers. All right, I'll stay till 5. I guess it depends on what time zone you're in. Till 30 minutes into this hourly candle. Then be shutting it down. Hopefully you guys got some value out of this. Ape looking more on the wanting to reject side of things from the high of the range, but we'll see. Certainly still anything can happen here. But the thing is, like, a lot of people aren't prepared for this move on ape, right? You have this. Oh, just gonna let my dog out. Yeah, people aren't prepared, maybe surprised, whether they're bullish or bearish on ape. This quick move up, maybe people adding to their longs, bears getting stopped out, maybe switching long, who knows. Whereas I'm just literally waiting for this level and can short the exact high. So, not surprised. And sometimes these moves happen quick, where you only have a couple minutes to make a decision. So if you don't have alert set, if you're not ready, you might miss it. I think that's one of the benefits of, you know, the group. I do some of that in the public, a lot more of it in the members. I'm going through these ideas, reiterating to people that I'm still waiting for this setup. You know, that can maybe give people a little bit more confidence or reassurance if they think that they're going to miss the shorts down here, that I'm still waiting for this. And then I update when the level comes. And if people are interested and they kind of share my perspective on analysis, they might take a position. And maybe some of that knowledge they're getting can help reimburse their membership with wisdom. I'm not interested in shorting ETH at all. I'm just because I have a kind of a unorthodox or unpopular bullish thesis on it. So until that's invalidated, I'm just not even bothering looking for shorts on it. I'll short other things. Like ape. This. I'm interested in just glancing over at Luna for a second. Still testing the golden pocket. Back tested this trend line. You guys got and I think I've shared, you know, it was a while ago. I'm gonna look in the public Telegram. I think I've shared this ape idea, this channel. Yeah, I shared it in the public. I just haven't really talked about it or updated it as much as I have in the members group. But if you're new here, you know, I shared this in the public Telegram. I'll move up to the highs here, kind of what I'm looking for. You know, ultimately, that's what's kind of playing out here. I think where a lot of people have trouble too is just patience, right? So they might have a level, but just, you know, they see all this and they're like, oh, we're not going to hit it. You know, whatever. They just don't have the confidence. And some of that's because they're just looking at somebody else's analysis. It's hard to have the confidence that it's going to play out. Someone's saying Gala close to breaking out. Am I long on Gala? You know, everything's breaking out or close to breaking out because Bitcoin's moving. But just gotta be wary of resistance and all that stuff. I'm not trading Gala right now. Certainly some bullish ideas. It's important not to get greedy. Alright, so an 8, nice rejection. Front run, like your first take profit could be 30% of your position. You want to front run key levels with your take profits. So, you know, this idea we could back test this high, similar to what Bitcoin could do. when you're in a short, it's a nice target for a take profit. Set your stop loss to entry. Then now you have a winner no matter what happens. If you want, you can always re-enter the market. I like to trade in such a way, when I open a position, I set my take profits with limit orders, set my stop loss when my take profit one's hit, which is usually quite quick. If it's a 3-4% move, 2% move, you're closing, front run the resistance, close on your position, stop loss to break even, and then see what happens. No point in turning a winning position into a loser. Not saying that necessarily ape is going to bounce back and take the highs, but it could. And if it does, and if you get stopped out, you can always re-enter. And you've already gotten one winner. Maybe you get another one. All right. If there's one last question, I might answer it. T minus 2 minutes until I'm shutting the live stream down here. Ultimately, I think it was good. You have my perspective on the upside and downside on Bitcoin. We got to see this ape long hit its target. A nice idea for a short, potentially. Bitcoin trying to make something happen. Whew. Waiting to see what, if any, reaction we get off the highs. Ultimately, I have to kind of stick around if we break out here, because I have other targets that I want to scale into. Excuse me. We have now passed 47K. Look at that. Wow. Ugh. It's nice. Nice move up. The other thing about crypto to keep in mind is you could have a lot of analysis on a bunch of different coins, but on like really volatile times on Bitcoin like this, typically everything moves together. So it's kind of can be hard to execute, like, you know, you can't trade 20 things at once. So you kind of got to pick the things you want to trade. Look for nice opportunities. Not the thing I meant to click on. Ultimately, yeah. There's the high volume node. Ooh, maybe we do just get the 786. 1618 locally here, just a local fib extension, trend based. Also comes in around 48K here. Again, not financial advice, but we are near a very primary target for me, I'd say. Unsurprisingly, no, shorts getting wrecked here. Not in a hurry to add to my shorts yet. Oh, yeah. Another reason, like I said, it's nice to take profits at key levels or right before them, because you're going to probably bounce from them. Put your stop loss entry and potentially look for another entry if you get one. I'm sure many of you have been in a situation where you turn a winning trade into a loser. Typically that can be avoided by just take profit one quickly, stop loss to break even or entry. Yeah, you'll get stopped out of more positions that could have been quote unquote bigger winners, but over the course of many trades you're going to end up doing better. This is a key level here still. There's a region in this area of the chart. Just have to be mindful to be looking for rejection. I always just like to double check my fibs are pulled accurately. This one I know is certainly very close because I've pulled it so many times. All right. Be back in like 2 minutes, but I won't shut down the stream yet. All right, I'm back. Alrighty. Yeah, ultimately, we're seeing some resistance in this region. Some nice volatility with, obviously tons of shorts squeezed out. Hundreds and hundreds of millions. Some longs opening here, getting wrecked on this little move down, or stopped out. You gotta anticipate some volatility here. But let's just say, like, even between these two levels, there's about 1%, 1.3%, about 1.3% between these levels. These are all shorting regions for me. Key level, key level, key level. Looking to short this region because it's some high time frame targets for Elliott wave retracements and Gartley targets. I will say this, you know, this isn't saying I'm going to be right or wrong. I don't know what will happen, but these are, I'm seeing all of the things I like to see to be taking short positions, you know, in this region. Price can come up higher than my targets. It can come a little lower than my targets, but ultimately this is a place where I'm almost certainly going to be taking shorts, building short positions. I'm seeing the types of things I need to be seeing to take them. I had this, you know, you have this target beforehand. You don't know how price is going to react in this region, what type of volume you're going to see, but someone asking for my thoughts on ape. If you are new to the stream, I just went over it. You can scroll back a bit maybe. Gave all my thoughts. Generally, sorry, I was just checking a few things. Generally on ape, I was anticipating this move up to these highs. It's an area of resistance. I'm not necessarily, you know, yeah, I think a lot of people, you know, if you clear off all your analysis, or all my analysis, just go to the hourly chart. I'm not saying it's not bullish, but this could look quite bullish, right? People are like, oh damn, ape is going to $80. But personally, you know, we got this long, got this short. This idea of this channel, this range we were in here, right? That's clear. We were in this range on this is a 2-hour chart, but boom, 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 boom. We re-entered the range here, back tested it, pushed up to what at the time was the 618 resistance. Perfectly touched it. That was a short at the exact high. Came down to the bottom of the range, along that up into the middle of the range, deviated from the range, reclaimed it. Now we're at the highs of the range, and we're seeing resistance. I am expecting the most likely outcome to be a rotation, at least back to the middle, but maybe to the lows of the range again. Bitcoin seeing a much bigger rejection. Again, this is a region that I am just happy to be shorting. I'm happy to get stopped out if I'm wrong, but I'm seeing the types of things, like I said, that I want to be seeing, to be entering shorts. Basically, I am going to probably shut down the stream now because we got this nice liquidity grab. We could still push up higher, but I'm just going to tell you right now, at this point, personally, I'm interested in shorts in this region. With these as sort of the key levels of interest, price can deviate from them a little bit. This level around 45.8 as a key level of support locally. Always, open to this possibility of price bouncing even here, you know, we could put in a bit of a range. We could come down here. We could test the highs again. Typically, price doesn't just reject from a key level and never come back for a significant retest. So regardless of where we reject from, typically you get some kind of retest of that level for a final rejection, or a range, and you kind of do the old BART and swing failure, the significant level. Alright guys, I've got things to do, so I appreciate you all tuning in. I hope it was all helpful. I'm satisfied with my positions and, you know, what my plan is. Hopefully I give you all some